Have you ever heard of the woman who single-handedly introduced Japanese theater to the West, becoming a global sensation at the turn of the 20th century? This is the incredible story of Sada Yacco, Japan's first modern actress. Born Sada Koyama in Tokyo in 1871, her life took an unexpected turn at a young age. Following the bankruptcy of her family's business, she was sent to work in a geisha house. But this was no ordinary house. The Hamariya was a place where Sada received a first-class education. She learned to read and write, mastered the arts of dance and music, and even learned how to ride horses and play billiard, skills unheard of for most women at the time. She became one of the most celebrated geisha in the prestigious Yoshicho district, known for her intelligence and artistic talent. Her life changed forever when she met Otojiro Kawakami, a charismatic actor and political activist known as the Liberty Kid. Otojiro was a firebrand, using theater to spread his liberal ideas. He was captivated by Sada's spirit and talent. In 1893, they married, a union that scandalized high society, but marked the beginning of an extraordinary partnership. Sada retired from the geisha life to support her husband's theatrical ambitions. At the time, acting was an all-male profession in Japan. It was considered improper for women to appear on stage. But Otojiro was a visionary. He believed Sada's talent was too great to be hidden. In 1899, their theater troupe faced financial ruin. Desperate, Otojiro decided to take a gamble, a tour of America. They boarded a ship, not as performers, but as travelers, hoping to find an opportunity abroad. Their luck turned in San Francisco. A theater manager, intrigued by their traditional costumes, offered them a chance to perform. There was just one problem. Their plays were all male, and they didn't have enough actors for the female roles. Otojiro turned to Sada. It was a monumental decision. For a woman of her standing to become an actress was a huge social taboo. But to save the troupe, she agreed. On her first night on a Western stage, Sada was terrified. She was playing a supporting role with no lines, but her grace and expressive power were undeniable. The audience was mesmerized. The troupe's director immediately recognized her star potential. He rewrote their main play, The Geisha and the Knight, to feature Sada in the leading role. Sada Yacco was a revelation. American audiences had never seen anything like her. Her performances were a whirlwind of emotion, passionate, tragic, and utterly compelling. Even though they couldn't understand a word of Japanese, they were captivated by the raw power of her acting. Her death scenes, in particular, became legendary. Critics praised her as a volcanic talent, comparing her to the greatest Western actresses like Sarah Bernhardt. The tour was a triumphant success, and their next stop was Europe. In 1900, they arrived in Paris during the Exposition Universelle. Performing in a small theater, Sada became the toast of the city. Artists and intellectuals flocked to see her. Pablo Picasso sketched her. The great composer Puccini saw her perform and was so inspired by her portrayal of a betrayed geisha that he began working on his masterpiece. Madama Butterfly, Sada Yacco, had become a muse for an entire generation of European artists. Her fame was unprecedented. She performed for kings, queens, and presidents. Her face appeared on posters, postcards, and even product advertisements for Yacco soap and Yacco cigarettes. Fashion designers in Paris created kimonos inspired by her style. She wasn't just an actress. She was a cultural phenomenon, a symbol of a mysterious and beautiful Japan that was just beginning to open up to the world. But behind the glamour, life on the road was grueling. The constant travel, financial pressures, and cultural misunderstandings took a toll. Sada was not just the star. She was also the troupe's caretaker, managing finances, mending costumes, and looking after her often impulsive husband, Otojiro. After 3 years of conquering the West, Sada and Otojiro returned to Japan in 1902 as national heroes. They brought back with them new stage techniques and a vision for a new kind of Japanese theater. But Japan was not yet ready for a female star. Sada faced criticism and prejudice. Traditionalists in the kabuki world refused to accept a woman, a former geisha, on their sacred stage. Undeterred, Sada and Otojiro opened the Imperial Actress Training School in 1908, the first ever institution in Japan dedicated to training women for the stage. It was a revolutionary act. Sada personally mentored the students, teaching them the skills she had honed on stages across the world. She was paving the way for future generations of Japanese actresses. Tragically, just a few years later, in 1911, Otojiro fell gravely ill. On his deathbed, he made a final request to Sada. He wanted to die on stage. In an act of incredible love and devotion, Sada arranged for a special performance. As Otojiro lay dying backstage, Sada gave the performance of her life, holding back her tears until the final curtain fell. He passed away shortly after. Heartbroken, Sada announced her retirement from the stage, saying, "Without my partner, Otojiro, there can be no more plays." She was only 40 years old. But her story wasn't over. She built a magnificent home in Nagoya, a fusion of Japanese and Western design, which she named Futaba Palace. And she found a new partner, Momosuke Fukuzawa, a brilliant industrialist known as the wizard of the electric power industry. Together, they became one of Japan's most prominent power couples. Sada used her influence and business acumen to support Momosuke's ambitious projects, helping to build the hydroelectric dams that would modernize central Japan. Sada Yacco passed away in 1946 at the age of 75. She had lived an extraordinary life, breaking barriers and defying conventions every step of the way. She was a geisha who became an international superstar, an actress who transformed Japanese theater, and a businesswoman who helped power a nation's future. Her legacy is not just in the plays she performed or the actresses she trained, but in her unshakable spirit. She proved that a woman's ambition could change the world. Today, her beautiful home, the Futaba Palace, is a museum dedicated to her life, a testament to the incredible journey of the woman who brought the art of Japan to the world stage and returned a legend. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please hit the like button and subscribe for more deep dives into fascinating lives from history. See you next time.